You're watching LandPowerTV, and this program comes to you from the 2024 Vaderstad International Press Conference in Sweden. The name Vaderstad needs no introduction to farmers in the UK. The brand first arrived on British shores in 1992, and the company's just really established itself as a major game player in tillage and seed drilling and planting equipment. It really has. I think that Britain's probably, most farmers in the UK would agree that if you are a Vaderstad user, the Carrier, the Topdown and the Rapid Drill have made their biggest marks. But it doesn't just end there. Vaderstad sells its products based on the concept of their design, and the company is continually improving the design of the products in its portfolio, as well as extending its portfolio with new ideas and new developments in seed drills and cultivation equipment. Now, to help me understand a little bit more about this, I want to introduce you to a man who really needs no introduction, actually, but if you're a Vaderstad customer, is Mr. Andy Gamble, who's the marketing and sales director.
No.
Marketing and sales manager for Vaderstad UK. I'll get it right after the 14th time. But Andy, very good. Thanks ever so much. It's really, really good to hear. So, we've got a lot to see. And a lot to get round. So what should we start with? Should we start with the new Proceed?
So the Proceed was a new concept and drill design which we introduced in 2021. So based on the proven design of the Tempo Precision Seed Planter, the Proceed has been developed to drill combinable crops like wheat and barley with the precision and accuracy normally associated with crops like sugar beet or even maize. So testing has proved that seed rates can be reduced by 30%. The Proceed drills perfect seed placement and then ensures even emergence, good crop establishment, and provides ideal crop population where the flourishing plants don't have to compete with each other. The drill uses a combination of 2 rows of Tempo units. This will then achieve a 225mm row spacing. Press wheels ahead of the seed coulters gently compress the soil to ensure each seed is placed in an identical soil environment, and this then will further ensure a good crop establishment.
As we walk now, there's an impressive lineup of machines here. I have to say they've got everything out here for this particular. Well, because there's people coming from all over the world, for dealers and everything.
Serve the country.
So here in Vaderstad, by the way, is actually named after the town where the factory is and where the company was actually started. Because it's a Stark family that's established this. As you know, we'll talk more about that a little bit later in the program. So as we move along, another big development that we saw that's being introduced this time is the Topdown E.
Yes, the E Services,
Yeah, so the Topdown's 20 years this year, isn't it?
20 years this year, yes. We celebrated 20 years, yeah.
So this is
her birthday this year.
Now, if you're a LandPowerTV, regular to LandPowerTV, you'll see when we did our Agritechnica coverage last year, the Topdown E Services made its debut there. So actually now we've got a chance to see it. So we're over here.
The Topdown E Services brings another dimension to the operation and control of the Topdown range. By utilising an in-cab iPad control system, the operator can monitor and adjust the depth or pressure of the 4 working zones independently without affecting the setting of the other zones of the cultivator. For example, here we can see the tines being lowered and raised while the Topdown is working. This is without affecting the working depth of the front disc or the roller at the rear of the machine. With the introduction of Isobus control, the Topdown E Services can be used to provide either variable depth control with a field map or with the programmable settings on the iPad controller. So what this really does is bring the Topdown's performance to another level. This allows customers to create the perfect seed bed in varying soil conditions with a single pass.
So in the field demonstration, what you were talking about there, we can clearly see actually where the body of the machine with the tines moves independently.
Yes.
With the as it's controlled from the cab. So it's just a case, and everything else stays exactly the same. And you can actually see that when the machine's going along, can't you?
Yes,
you
can see it drop.
In fact, the guy almost bogged the tractor at one point, didn't he? He dropped it down so far when we were drawing it. It is very impressive, and I'm sure that there's got to be a lot of interest from farmers in the UK.
We've got 2 or 3 in the UK demonstrating now, and the interest is phenomenal on it. Yeah, so it's going to be. I think it's going to be quite big.
Yeah, and because it takes the Topdown, which is a well-proven, well-liked machine, to another level. Now, is E Services available on all Topdown models?
Yes,
every size, every width, every configuration.
It's a new machine. It's not a retrofit.
It says no, you can't be retrofitted or anything. No.
So the new models have the option of the standard spacers that we used to have in the wheels, or the E Services. But I see a lot of farmers now just saying E Services.
It's got to be the way forward,
well,
isn't it?
It's allowing you to stay in the cab, do better management of your soils. Obviously, if there's situations you're going down the field, you've got heavy part in the corner. Probably historically you'd leave the deepest spaces in, so you do the whole field to match that bad area. Now they can actually lift up for half the field to a sensible depth, save on fuel, save on power, get on a bit faster, and not just accommodate just one area of the field with the set spaces.
Now, one of the things that we're talking a little bit about, obviously, that we know the Topdown is 20 years. That's a remarkable thing in itself because of its popularity. But one of the things we've seen here, actually, when you come to visit in Vaderstad, the Stark family are very hands-on. They're amongst us all the time, and we've had the absolute privilege of meeting Mr. Christer Stark, who actually took some time to have a chat with us and explain to us a little bit about the history of the company and how it all got started.
Hi, I'm Christer Stark at Vaderstad, and we are now in the old workshop where everything began 61 years ago. 1962, my father made the first redesigned harrow in a very primitive workshop, and we are there right now. He had the idea that he could make something that would work for the farmers much, much better than what they had. And ever since, we have always tried to find the next level of whatever we are doing. And we have done that over and over again. If you see back in the history of Vaderstad with machines, but also on components, we have developed many, many components that have proved to be very, very good for the farmers, like rubber suspension, crossboard tines, rubber suspension with a small disc, and a coulter to the side. There you have the rapide, and try to make things simple and long-lasting. When we started here, I was 11, so I since then have been hanging around, and I got my jobs, and one of my jobs was